How do you guys overcome these slow starts again? I mean, 36 points again, 10 points down, and 8 3-pointers by Phoenix in the first quarter.
Yeah, their guys are making shots. Guys that we wanted the ball to find. Nurkic, Koji, they make 2-3 threes going into halftime. That's a big deal, but that's part of our game plan. Rather have those guys shooting than anybody else. It was their night tonight in the first half. So we just had to battle through. Felt like we were still doing a great job defensively. Our pace could still be better in that first quarter, but it wasn't anything in comparison to other first quarters. We just couldn't hold our head down. They made shots, they came in ready to play, and we just had to battle back. So obviously there has to be some carryover from our talks that we're having, just in terms of consistency, being ready to play, and not waiting. A lot of teams are coming at us, so I don't want to get redundant and repetitive on everything that we're saying, but it does matter how we start the first quarter, setting the tone for us again.
What about the offensive rebounds by Nurkic down the stretch?
Yeah, no, it was guys were in foul trouble, our bigs were in foul trouble. We went small. We got to get a little bit more down and dirty down there, and got to do the little things for each other. That's the difference in a lot of these games. Is a lot of 50-50 basketballs, a lot of long rebounds. They're taking threes. They're bouncing to the free throw line. Sometimes we got guys leaking out. Sometimes we got guys in the paint, just standing around. And I'm one of the guilty guys on that sense. So I got to hold myself accountable. But it's a team effort, right? We just have to continue to communicate to one another. And when we go small against these teams that have guys that like to offensive rebound, we just got to be aware of it.
Coach talked a lot about the importance of the bench kind of contributing more. How do you, as a veteran player, kind of encourage them to kind of do more, but also, hold them accountable?
That's a great question. I just think in the sport of basketball, especially, sorry, give me a second, just make sure it's not my wife. Okay. No, just in the sport of basketball, there are a lot of things that could go different ways, and one of the most difficult positions to play is a role player, because you have to accept your role and you have to remain consistent, and we depend on you. I get a few more clicks or a few more shots at the rim, kind of find my rhythm, but when you're a guy that comes off the bench and you're only playing 10, 15, 20 minutes, you got to make the best out of it, and sometimes you don't have the same leash that other people have to be able to make mistakes. So us as a team, I think we have the maturity, we have the skill set, we have the the attitude and mentality to be able to help each other out there, especially when we have a change in lineups. And we just got to continue to feed good energy to one another and continue to be great on the defensive end. That's where I'm going to lay my hat on for us, regardless of who's in the game, whether it be the starters or the bench players. We all got to maintain that defensive pressure on these teams that we're playing against, and offensively, just continue to have fun and give each other space to be great.
You said you're not trying to sound repetitive on the early start, so apologies in advance. But Jason Kidd was, really, Jason was really focused on it, cursing about it, like up here, and in a very unique way, clearly.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, he was frustrated in a way that we rarely see him. Is there any through line to I'm sure you guys are listening, that you hear it, that you were trying to implement this and it's still not happening. Is there any through line or any cause that could be allowing this disconnect between what's being said and what's being focused on and what's actually happening?
It's a great question, man. Yeah, this is just the ends of professional basketball, man. Like when we're dealing with coaching and player relationships, and we're trying to get the best out of each other, and they see things, and they've been studying film for hours, and majority of the time the players have been studying film too, and when you're out there you feel different things as well. So they like for us to live off our instincts and play off our instincts, and I think I gotta give credit to J. Kidd for allowing us to do that, and our whole entire coaching staff. But when they're expecting us to play at a certain level to start off the game, we got to meet those expectations too. It's a healthy ask. It's a healthy challenge for us. And again, I'm not going to make any excuses up here, but we just got to continue to bring the pace, bring the fight to the other team, and not be in the kind of passenger seat of just dealing with people being the aggressor with us. We got to be the driver. And you guys know, watching tons of NBA games, when a team comes out soft or lackadaisical, and that other team is thirsty and hungry, they're gonna take full advantage of your lack of effort and your lack of focus. So it could be a few different things, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We've been pretty bad in the first quarters, and we gotta be better than. So words only go so far though.
Certainly you guys have had key injuries, but this was your season high tying 5-game homestand. You're 2-3. You're 5-4 for the season. Are you surprised to be 5-4 at this point?
I mean, we expect to go into every game to win. So I think anytime you lose games, it's a bit of a surprise, and until you see the outcome and you see the stats and you kind of reflect on what you could have done better. But yeah, basketball is also a beautiful rhythm game, and we just haven't found that flow yet and that rhythm to be able to build on that consistency in which we're speaking of. I think we show flashes of it. We've been down 20 plus to a few teams, and we've come back to a certain degree. So we've been able to withstand a lot of runs and respond. It's just now how we start off the games, and how we start off is how we want to finish, and that's strong and being able to set the tone. So yeah, it is a bit surprising that we're 5-4, but it's the reality of where we are. Can't sulk your head. It's 82-game season. This is the time where you kind of really lock into what the next week is going to look like, because it doesn't matter. And right now we're 2-3 going on this 5-game home stretch, and then we have another 5-game road trip against some great teams that have been playing extremely well. So there's no time to feel bad or look too much into the past, but we do have to remain present and continue to do the little things for us to be successful.
3-game road trip.
3-game?
Yeah.
It's 4-game?
3.
Sure it's not 4-game?
I think it's 3.
It's 3.
Very
Yeah.
Sure it's not 4. It feels like a week.
You got the Spurs here.
4 out of 5 on the road. There you go.
There's a blizzard in Denver too.
Fuck it. Thanks, basketball. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right.